Oh, dang, Macau put out the YouTube. Peace, and love, y'all. Welcome to Vibes with Moody. Today, we're going to be trading NASDAQ. You know the drill. You can trade SPY, QQQ, or even SPX with me. However, give me a moment while I share my screen, because I'm still charting at the moment. Before the market opens up, I have about 15 minutes. Give me one quick second. I already did it. Give me one second, y'all. I want to make sure that I invite some people. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, there that go. All right, peace and love, y'all. Peace. I appreciate y'all patience. However, as I was mentioning, man, welcome to Vibes with Moody. Welcome back. We're gonna be live trading. I'm gonna take 1 or 2 trades. Who knows how many trades I'm gonna take, right? However, I was still kind of charting, right? So I'll let you guys see me chart. I already got like my support and resistance up there. I'm just going to grab a few more liquidity points. Um, Please do me a huge favor and never mind. You did it. Do. So right now I just turned this green line to red because the liquidity point, right? We have several liquidity points. However, I'm just marking them on my chart for my private community, or rather me say the private community. And as well for y'all to be able to see, right? These are places where we can scale out of our trades, right? We don't have to wait. We don't truly have to wait. However, it's important to always, take profits, right? You don't have to wait till it hits the line. Like if you're in some decent profits, you can always start to scale out of your trade, right? I want people to keep that in mind, right? So I'm gonna just get some liquidity from the upside now, and then I'll go ahead and get an entry point, right? So that's the liquidity I'm seeing as of late. There we go. That time frame is gonna stay right there. Now I'm just gonna pull this up just a little quickly to like a 7-minute time frame just to give myself a nice eye. And what I'm going to do is bring this resistance down to where it needs to be. I'm going to look at that price. I'm not just going to say we're going to enter push right there. I would love to enter calls right here. I'm going to set the entry, yet we can be a little bit patient with it. That's there. What's that? My green line. And I'm going to set another call entry right here. Alrighty, I want to drop this down to about a 2-minute time frame so I can see like what's happening right here. She didn't give me like a flush good entry, so what I am gonna do is I'm gonna grab this bad boy here, drop it right there, and bring her a little bit under support coming into the next candlestick's range. And I know for a fact we could take some puts about right here, and I'll explain it, especially if we don't bounce from that level and we could hold under, we could take some puts right there as well. So right now I'm just going to delete this line so we don't just utilize that for that. So as of late right now, we have a put entry at $25,399.25 flat, right? And we have two call entries. We have a call entry right here at $25,424, and we have another call entry right here at $25,440, right? So give me 1 second. Oh, what does it say? Bitcoin is now back above 68 bucks. I want to see Bitcoin hit about like 55K. Give me 1 second as I log into my account. And if you're not logged into your account, please make sure to log into your account. If anybody over here on YouTube has any questions, as I'm logging into my account from what I just mentioned or anything of that nature, please feel free to ask any questions. As of late, we're in a bull flag continuation pattern. Um, so let's just keep that in mind, right? And we can go previous right here on this 2 minute chart and see that right here, right? We had a nice breakout, flagged for a little bit, and then when was able to break out again, gave another little quick flag, broke out again. We're having another flag right now. However, this flag didn't come down to about 50% of its retracement of the previous candle of its mother bar. It's come down basically all the way down to its support, the bottom of the candlestick. So it's kind of negating that flag, yet the flag is still there, right? Because we can see that flag right here and it can still bull flag out, right? So let's just keep that in mind. Um, right now, I want to say I have a bias to the upside, right? However, I want anything to happen. We can just break out from here or we can consolidate and then just break out. Yeah, that's how do. Oh, gotcha. So, yeah, so if I come over here to the VIX, right? Thanks for the live, Moody. You're more than welcome. Absolutely. You're more than welcome. Oh, I know who that is. That's Rozzy. You're more than welcome, Rozzy. Don't worry, I'm gonna be in my DMs here soon. Mommy's birthday's coming up. Family's coming in. You know how I be about the family. You know, I always love to help people. However, I've learned to stay focused when it comes to family, right? However, coming over here to the VIX, right? We're sitting on a nasty, huge Head and Shoulders, even though we broke that one. So now we got this nice little bear flag, right? And it's been working out very well. It already gave you half of the measure move of the bear flag. So we're gonna see if we're gonna get that whole bear flag to come down all the way to about like 1624 on the VIX. Let's see if we can get that to happen. However, you always want to come down to your small time frames and just check certain things out, right? So I see that we're overextended to the downside. That doesn't mean that we have to go ahead and pop. Yet, we definitely are looking for something of that nature, right? So what time is it? 9:22, right? So my heart just started beating like and let me explain why. Why? Because we can drop. We can drop even though we're overextended to the downside on a VIX of the volatility doesn't mean anything, right? If they catch, well, they already caught wind of that. Depending on how they want to play it today, we'll just shoot up as soon as the market opens up. Maybe pull back a little quickly and just shoot up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for the first 15, 25 minutes or something of that nature, but not just straight up. Like we'll fluctuate up is the correct vocabulary I should be using. Oh, let me put my mic right here. So yeah, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. We have our call entries right here. As I mentioned already, we have our put entries down below. It's going to be your white lines, right? And if you have to look, they're going to be right here. And one thing that I'll say is just you can take a screenshot of this and then just start applying it to your chart. Right now, I wouldn't do that, right? And I'll ask myself the question, hey Moody, why wouldn't you do that right now, this second? Because it's 9:24, right? With 9 seconds already into that last minute where maybe you should focus on, okay, let me get into my brokerage. He's more leaning towards the bull side, right? He will let us know if he pivots for puts, yet he's leaning more towards the bull side. So if I'm in options, I want to make sure that I'm already looking at calls when I'm in the option chain, right? Um, can y'all please hold on? Let me see who that is. I got you, Miss Wang. Hold on. I'm just hearing myself like super. It's Will. Gotcha. Hey, people over here in the private community, do me one favor. Just make sure to keep yourselves muted because then I start hearing the echo. And for anybody that's on YouTube, I'm just talking to the private community. I might get to meet them or we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I'm sure and more than positive that they'll be taking the trades, right? So y'all guys be ready. Oh, women and gentlemen and ladies. Oh my God, we're approaching my call entry. Look at that, y'all, right there. Trigger, bigger. trigger bigger. There it is. We would have been getting in calls right now. We could do it right now. However, we're gonna make sure that everybody's able to get in. We're gonna wait for the 9:30. We're definitely gonna wait for the 9:30. However, if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. Let me put this on the right time frame that I want to be on. I'll be trading on a 5-second time frame. I'm not encouraging anyone to do so, right? It's not what I'm doing. Oh man, hopefully we get into the. I want to be in already. It's a nice bull flag, you know. That's why I said, hey, it's triggering. I'll be in right now, you know, and you'll see that where it's like I would have been up already, like what 7? No, I think that was like 4 to 6 points, you know, and it's just now retracing back to the break even where I probably would have just bought more depending on how the price action is moving. However, I'll be looking at the 5. I know I have it on the hour right now, but I'll be looking at the 5. I'm gonna drop it down to the 15 first, and I'll be looking at the 15 second. So the 5 looks cool. I mean, the 15-minute looks cool. I'm gonna bring it down to the 5. It's just bull flagging, so I'd rather just start seeing the bull flag and how it's performing. Yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, drop your questions. Let me go into the private community chat. Peace, 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 peace. How y'all doing? Peace. What's going on, Candace? Peace and love. I'm gonna drop the chat down real quick. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. That's about it. Now it's all about staying patient. Staying patient and remembering what? Plan the trade, trade the plan. No trigger, no entry. It's okay to sit on your hands. You don't want to sit on Santa's lap or something. You know, you can sit on your own hands, my loved ones. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, peace and love, Latanson. How you doing, Latanson? What's going on, my man? All right, we got what, 3 minutes or 2 minutes and 21 seconds. So you guys know you could be always looking at my chart or your chart, and it's like right here. I don't always have to look up here. I just look at this where it's like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. We're about to start. And you see, trigger my entry, stood over the entry. Just could have kept buying it and scaling out, buying it and scaling out. However, over here in the private community, got a question for y'all. Are y'all ready to trade? Are y'all ready? Like, are y'all ready to trade? What's your say it with me? Give me my money. That part. Everybody say it with me. Give me my money. That part, that part, that part, that part. But nah, let me get this off here so they can see the charts. But nah, yeah. Uh, peace and love. That's a great question. Maybe once I'm done live trading, because I have literally 2 minutes. I know I don't even have 2 minutes. I have 1 minute and 10 seconds to literally chart up Tesla, try to give you a review. I mean, an analysis behind it. I don't want to miss over here on YouTube. So I got you. Once I finish taking my trade or whatnot, I got you. I'll go over there and look at Tesla. If you always ask me at least 5 minutes before the market opens up or a little way before, I always got you. However, let's stay focused, y'all. We got a nice bull flag here. Got a nice inverted head and shoulders playing out with a nice morning star over here at the 5-minute time frame, right? So, let me go ahead and get closer. All right, we got 30 seconds left. I may be the first one in, I may not. This is the second call entry. The first call entry already triggered. We can buy the bounce off of it. We can buy the breakout through, right? It's all up to you, my love. However, I will always love a pullback. And there she goes. Pulling back already, guys. All right, market just opened up. Let's go ahead and stay patient. Ooh, and she's already dropping with a nice pullback. I'm gonna buy calls right here. I literally just bought calls. I'm in, y'all. There we go. We can go ahead and take a scale now. I'm gonna take one more. There we go. And I'm gonna hold these. And I'm gonna actually look to buy some more. I just want to get over that white line. If I get over, there it is. I'm buying more. There it is. Now I'm taking a quick scale. There it is. There it is. 1,500 already. No problem. All right. I only have 3 contracts left. I actually want to show you guys, but I don't want this to go down on me and then I can't get out my own trade. All right. We're only up 1,800, $2,000, 1,800, 2,100. Trying to see if we can break out of the range here. All right. Go ahead and scale something right now. And I'm just going to hold. Trying to see if I get a nice bull flag right here. So you choose, ooh, well, I'll show you that in a second. We just bull flagged it a little bit right here. So we coming down. All right, I'm gonna close the whole trade right here. Bow. Took that. All right. I know and feel that she's gonna still go up. She's just gonna rebalance just a tad bit. I can see us breaking out of this level here, right? To take out liquidity to the upside. However, as I always say, I'm gonna take a fire trade with you guys and make sure that you guys make a decent amount of money, not just about 30 bucks to 50 bucks, right? I know I just did, let me look at my P&L. I just did $2,300, right? However, with that being said, I already got it here on a 5-second time frame. This is where I trade. I was looking at the 15 with you guys with this time frame right here. Before the market opened up, you can, play the recording again. I explained everything already on what I was doing. I seen that we had a nice little morning star right here. The good thing is when the market came out, it swept liquidity, right? Once it swept liquidity, it came and bounced off of support. Once we was able to do that, the VIX just triggered me. Yep, it just triggered me to push up a little bit to the downside. So this is gonna go up higher. We're definitely gonna break past this level. So with that being said, just letting you know, calls are in, right? It's just always buy low to sell high. However, coming over here to this 15-minute time frame, we can see the nice morning star that it gave as soon as the market opened up off of that nice little pullback. You see me enter my trade right here, right? That's when I said, all right, I'm buying. Reason I was buying is because it swept liquidity. Once I seen that it swept liquidity, it started to rise back up. I do not trade off a 1-second time frame. So on that 5-second time frame, you'll be able to see it right here, where it's like boom, 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 boom. I seen that. I jumped in right there, right? See my reversal pattern, kept going, was able to scale out. Right here, I scaled out again, and I said, hey, if we go over my white line, I'll go ahead and add to the position. Why? Because we'll be breaking over structure again, right? So that's what I did. I went ahead and added to my position again, started to scale out, and started to hold 3 contracts right here. And that's when I started to show you guys what I did, right? Um, and I told you guys that I was more biased to the upside as soon as the market opened up, just due to how the price action was looking. We was already bull flagging, right? A bull flag is a continuation pattern. We were also morning starring here on a 5-minute with more consolidation due to the market being closed, right? Right here, we just seen how it just boom, just took it straight up, right? You're having your put entry just trigger. So put entries are triggering right now. So if we get down below and under it, and what I would say is you get under the blue line, you could go ahead and grab those puts and start taking it. Me, I will always grab it like at my red line. And if I feel like it's gonna drop, I'll just grab like a rejection, like right here, like boom, grab the rejection, start going down so I can add to the position. Why do I say that? Because we got to remember that this is a support. Regardless of the fact that it's our entry point, it's a support, right? And those are the things that we have to remember, right? It's just like I said, I would have got my puts like around here on this blue line on any kind of rejection, right? And of course, you place your stop where you need to and don't get scared. Why? Because we see an inverted head and shoulders right here, right? However, you got to allow it to play out. It's just the fact that when you want to short, you always buy high to sell low, right? Because the short, you see, now we've entered the put levels, right? And now you can enter the trade. Now you can take it to the downside. You know what I'm saying? Right here, reason I was saying, hey, you want to get it up there is because this hasn't been breached, right? If we go back to the classes that I've been, simultaneously teaching every single Wednesday at 6:30, you'll see how I'm breaking down the chart and telling you things so that you can understand. This one right here, we pulled back and we bounced off that level and ran up. So it's just a bounce level. This time it came down and it bounced and reversed again. And that's why I would say I would get a rejection before just grabbing my entry point. Why? Because it has to get breached. You know what I'm saying? That's why you heard me the second time saying, hey, I will get it now. If you didn't grab that rejection zone at the top. However, let's get back to the trade that I was in, right? So I went ahead and scaled out. I held 3 contracts And the reason I got out of my trade, to be honest, is I was scaling out. I made enough money. On a 5 second time frame that I was looking at, we started to pull back right here. Right. Once we started to pull back, we were entering where, I was already adding to my position right here. It was getting close to my break even. It was sweeping liquidity. I was like, hey, I could just close this trade. It was a beautiful trade. Point blank period. Right. So as you see, I called out the put entry again. So I would say that, hey, I called out. I didn't take my own put entry. Why? Because I'm explaining something, and it's not that smart to be explaining something and making sure to make your money and being responsible as a leader to make sure that other people are making their money and not be in trading and not explaining at the same time. It just doesn't make sense, right? However, we're approaching market structure once again, and see it just broke straight through it. However, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. I know that someone wanted me to look at Tesla really quickly, right? So let me just bring it over to Tesla. And as I do that, if you guys don't mind, do me one favor, make sure to like and comment. And if you don't mind, share it with 5 to 7 people. It's a free YouTube channel for people to be able to make them some money as well as learn. However, I won't be on here all day. I'm about to get off of here and go straight to my private community and go live trade and teach over there. So, looking at Tesla, it's already overextended to the upside. We had a nice push, a nice, beautiful push. It already ran up $6. We're right here. It swept out most of its liquidity. It reached its market structure where it's like it's gonna need to hold the level of $434.53 and consolidate a little bit to keep pushing up to the upside. However, let me see if it was mentioned on, do you want me to look at this as a day trade, Scott, or no? So just a quick analysis. On Tesla, I'll just bring it down to a higher time frame. Tesla still has some steam to keep pushing and take out liquidity about around 440.01. I would just buy it low. When I say buy it low, coming down to a smaller time frame, we're extremely overextended, so I will let it pull back just a tad bit. Because to buy calls right now, you're just simply gambling. Unless you know how to just like read the charts and like you're seeing a pullback, yeah, you're just gonna be gambling. Right now, it can fluctuate and start pushing up even higher. However, it will desire to pull back. When it when the time presents itself, because it can't just stay overextended like this. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say. Like if you're looking at this like as an investment, I would definitely say that that you're not late. You can actually start investing into Tesla. Tesla has a nice bounce and a nice reversal to the upside. The thing is once I see a head and shoulders, right? Or inverted head and shoulders, I already know that his reaches magnitude and his reaches market structure. So you have to be careful. You have to make sure that it is going to break out of that trade, right? That's what a lot of people don't understand. Whereas, when I was talking about NASDAQ, right? And this is just a scalp, right? And it's doing it right here. Like it's about to break this level, right? And how do I know? It already breached it, right? Breach. So all I need is a hold under $25,348 flat. That's all I need is a hold under that specific level, and it's going to fly down. That's what it's testing right there. Like boom, 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 boom. It's testing the support, and that's why you see it bouncing up. However, once I'm able to go under that level, it's a wrap. It's just like when we breached it here, you know, it ran up, and then we finally breached it. It came down. It's doing the same thing, right? So that's why you see, oh, it did it again. It's breaching it, right? However, once I'm able to hold under that level, that thing's gonna fly all the way down to about $25,329.25. How do I know that? Because this is what I do. I don't go to work. I don't clock into a job and then be like, hey, let me go help the public and do this. No, this is what I physically do. You seeing me get up out of my bed, literally coming to do this. I'm not bragging. I'm not doing anything. That's why I set up a free spot just to help a couple of people out. I'm not gonna be here all day just to show people what they're able to do if they lock in. Yeah, you gotta lock in with yourself and you gotta lock in with somebody that actually knows this, right? Tax season is coming up. I won't be doing my taxes till I think I got to like April 15th. So I kind of wait till the last minute. However, it's tax season. You're not about to go to what? someone that just learned taxes on Instagram 2 days ago or maybe a year and a half ago. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna go to the dentist and, oh wait, you just opened up your practice, you just graduated. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. So why do that with your finances? Why do that with literacy? Because people are illiterate. And that's okay. Once you understand that you're illiterate, you become literate and you start learning literacy. And it's okay. That's how it starts. Everybody starts like that. You look in the mirror and you be like, hey man, hold on, I gotta clean up my mouth. I be using too much profanity around here. Oh man, hold on. I gotta look at this a little bit differently. And you start loving yourself. You gotta do that, right? So with that being said, going back to Tesla really quickly, I like it as an investment. As a as a scalp, I wouldn't be scalping this. I'll be letting it pull back. You see how it's already pulling back? I will allow it to pull back. Um, with that being said, now long term, I will be in Tesla. Long term. I mean, anywhere between what 3 to 5 years if you're looking at it as an investment. If you're looking at it as a swing trade, I would definitely wait. This is already overextended to the upside. Um, and the reason I'm saying that is because you have to look at a swing as a day trade sometimes when you're first entering in the trade, right? Where it's like, hey, do I want to enter this trade right now? Like, because it shot up and I see that it can pull back for the next like $5 or something of that. Even if you don't know, you got to always account for that pullback, right? You don't want to buy high just because this ran up. You never want to buy high. You want to buy that thing when it comes down. You see how it's pushing up now? You want to buy it when it comes down, right? With that being said, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We knocked this out the park. Everybody should have been able to make them money. Give me 1 second real quick. Hey y'all. I stopped sharing my screen on accident. Hold on. Toot, toot. Um, Peace. Everybody over there in the private community. You don't have to unmute. If you want to unmute, you can, but I highly doubt that they could hear you. Was y'all successful? Did y'all take that trade? Was you banking? And LA, I see that you have a question. Give me 1 second. Let's answer this question, and then I'm gonna get off YouTube and I'm gonna answer all your questions. If y'all want to turn your camera on so they can see y'all real people, so they don't think that I just got about like 30 TVs or devices on and just acting like I'm Titus, I'm Kenyetta, Jordan. There go Will. What's going on, Will? However, if you made money, say give me my money or drop how much money you made. Give me my money. Give me my money. You feel me? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh man, I look like an AI with the braids. Oh, you talking about a we gotta keep Allen Iverson. See, the world's changing. The world's changing. However, peace and love, YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, and one last thing, YouTube. I won't be live trading with y'all the next day. I'll be live trading in the private community. I just gotta always let you know, TradingView is one of my favorite charting platforms. However, Mondays I do classes, coaching program. Y'all don't be worried. Only a couple of people know. I'm actually gonna give y'all. I'm adding an extra day to do classes. I'm trying to see if I should do it on the strong end. When I say strong end, I mean weekend, like it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We're gonna see what works for people. Regardless of the fact, pop-up classes and all that will be starting mid-March and things of that nature. The market's starting to look where I want to put out some options and stuff of that nature. However, this Monday coming up, I won't be doing a class. I will potentially just show up the live trade, to be honest with you, because I just, like to give me my money, and it'll feel good to make the market give me my money, whether I'm in front of my mother or I'm about to go see my mother and it's her birthday and I got family coming into town. And one thing I would love people to know, one thing about me is I don't play about my family. I don't play about my wife, my child, or my mother. If they need me, I could be in the middle of a live trade. I could be in the middle of, well, I ain't gonna say all that. You gotta respect people's time. If I'm on stage talking with somebody, I may have to, hey, give me about 15, 20 minutes. However, if I'm just in a private community or doing something, I'm always going to stop for my family and do whatever that needs to be done. And I do that also because I want people to be able to see that and know to always put your family first, right? So with that being said, um, I appreciate all the engagement. Amazing first trade. Thank you so much. Do you have an indicator of your pivot points? No, I don't have an indicator for pivot points. I don't. What do you look at when you're saying pivot points? I don't really use indicators. I don't like indicators. What you see on my chart, the only indicator I'm actually using is the RSI, right? You'll see the strat on. The strat's not an indicator. The strat is just, with the candlesticks. I can literally tell you, yo, it's two down because it broke the previous levels, the previous low and not the previous high. This one is a one bar because it's stuck in between the previous candlestick, right? It's called consolidation, a tightening range, right? However, this is a two up because it broke the previous high, right? And then we'll call that a tweeze bottom because it's a tweeze bottom reversal, and then it's a tweeze bottom reversal inside of a morning star, right? Which is AKA a nice cup and handle. And I know that all of this is kind of blocking you. Nice little cup and handle, and then you could come over here, right? And see that I'm on it, and you see a nice cup and handle. Just so beautiful. You just got to know how to read the chart and how to manipulate it. However, no, I do not use pivot points, and I am not a big indicator person. I like price action and just one indicator. I don't believe that even the government, they do what they do to the people, and they don't want, cattle out there just confused extremely. They're not going to put certain things up there. They're going to put a stop sign or they're going to put a traffic light. They're not ever going to put you a traffic light that goes green, red, and yellow and a stop sign and it don't turn left. They're not going to do that. That's going to confuse. They need you at work and doing what you need to do, right? So I will look at your chart that same way. So with that being said, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love. It was first welcome to Vibes with Moody. Now it's goodbye with Vibes with Moody. Peace.